Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're diving into a brand new explainer, and honestly, we're tackling a daily habit that pretty much all of us completely ignore. We're going to break down some truly fascinating medical insights from Dr. Tetsuya Isero to decode your body's silent signals. It's an incredible look at how our internal health communicates with us every single day, and how missing these clues can actually be incredibly dangerous.
So let me just start right off with a super direct question for you. Do you actually look before you flush? I mean, if you're like most of us, you probably finish up, hit the handle, and just walk away without a second thought. But here's the thing. By doing exactly that, you are literally throwing away a free daily health report that your body has meticulously put together for you.
So the crucial point here is perfectly summed up by Dr. Insero himself. He says, this is a sign from the body. The most important thing to worry about with abnormal stool is colon cancer. Let that sink in for a second. If we aren't taking just 2 seconds to check the bowl, we are flying completely blind to some of the most obvious early warning signs of severe internal disease.
To demystify all this, we'll be using a color-coded warning system today. We're going to cover 1. Black stool in the upper GI, 2. White stool and the pancreas, 3. Red and green signals, 4. Why shape matters beyond just color, and 5. Getting the right tests.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Black Stool, the Upper GI Warning.
You know there's this really common myth floating around that black stool just means you have severe constipation, but medically speaking, that's a pretty dangerous misconception. The actual medical term for this is Melena. See, it's not fresh red blood. When you bleed high up in your digestive tract, that blood mixes with your stomach acid, and as it travels down, it oxidizes, which completely transforms the color from red to pitch black. This specifically points to bleeding in your esophagus, your stomach, or your duodenum.
So what's actually causing that internal bleeding? Well, the main culprits are usually stomach ulcers, esophageal varices, or duodenal ulcers. Now, there is a tiny caveat here. Unless you literally just went out last night and had a massive plate of squid ink pasta, or you regularly take heavy iron supplements, which, naturally darken things up, black stool is a massive, undeniable red flag for upper GI bleeding.
And this brings us to a super critical distinction from Dr. Isero. A lot of people see a problem in the toilet and immediately panic, thinking, oh man, I need a colonoscopy. But wait, black stool means the problem is up high. You actually need a stomach camera, an endoscopy. Going to a clinic that only offers colonoscopies is just not going to help you find the source of that oxidized black blood.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, White stool, a critical pancreatic alert.
Okay, let's dive into this next one, because honestly, it might be the most shocking color on our list, white. And it is no joke. This points to severe, potentially life-threatening organ issues. Let's break down the mechanics here. Your stool is only brown because of a substance called bile, right? And that's produced by your liver. So if your stool suddenly turns white, it means that crucial internal plumbing system is completely blocked. We're talking about things like pancreatic cancer blocking the bile duct, severe gallstones, or really heavy liver inflammation like hepatitis B or C. Basically, no bile equals no brown color.
5%. That is the approximate 10-year survival rate for advanced pancreatic cancer. It's an incredibly stark reality. It's often called a silent disease because the symptoms just don't really show up until the cancer is highly advanced. And that is exactly why early visual detection, like noticing white stool, is absolutely vital. It could literally be your only early warning sign. And you know, this white stool connects directly to other visible changes in your body, specifically jaundice. Think about it like a plumbing backup. If that bile is blocked and can't go down into the digestive tract, well, it has to go somewhere. So it reverses right into your bloodstream. This is what causes the whites of your eyes and your skin to turn a yellowish color. And as your body desperately tries to filter it out, it dumps it into your urine, making it severely dark. Honestly, it can get so concentrated that people easily mistake it for blood.
All right, on to Section 3, red and green signals, the lower GI warnings.
Now we're shifting our focus down to the lower digestive tract. And let's start with the most visually alarming color, red. Now you might be thinking, hey, I do my annual fecal occult blood test, so I'm totally covered. But consider this staggering statistic. Standard stool tests miss about 50% of colon cancers. Let me repeat that, 50%. The truth is, cancer doesn't bleed every single time you go to the bathroom. This shocking limitation is exactly why looking at the bowl yourself is a completely necessary backup to modern medical testing.
And this brilliantly illustrates the actual biology behind the bleeding, which is super crucial to understand. It's not just some random symptom. Abnormal polyps and cancer cells, they are not healthy tissue. they're actually incredibly fragile. So when hard stool passes through the colon, it easily tears those abnormal cells and not causes them to bleed. That is exactly why you'd see red blood appearing in the bowl.
Let's contrast that severe red warning with another color you might spot, green. Red is a severe warning. It points to colon cancer, bleeding polyps, or severe inflammation, and it means you need a colon camera immediately. But green is usually just temporary. It generally means you have a poor gut environment or maybe a bacterial bug like salmonella from some undercooked chicken. So if you see green, the medical advice is usually just to wait, observe, and see if it clears up on its own. Kind of gives you a little peace of mind, right?
Let's move to Section 4, Beyond Color, when shape and frequency matter.
So here's the twist in all of this. Checking the color is really only step one. The physical shape and the frequency of your bathroom visits, that's the next critical level of your self-check. Persistent diarrhea or constipation means your colon is failing at its main job, absorbing water. But extremely thin stool, that is a terrifying mechanical warning. The logic here is pretty simple. If a tumor is growing on the colon wall, it's taking up physical space. So the stool has literally no choice but to become incredibly thin just to squeeze past it. Oh, and a complete stoppage over several days? That could point to a highly dangerous bowel obstruction.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, getting the right tests and clinic selection. Now, knowing all these colors and shapes is absolutely useless if you end up going to a clinic that doesn't have the right tools to actually find the disease. Listen to Dr. Isero's urgent warning about clinic equipment. If you go to a clinic for white stool and they only use an ultrasound, they are going to miss 50 to 70% of pancreatic and bile duct issues. But if you choose a clinic that uses both an ultrasound and a CT scan, the accuracy for finding those diseases jumps to over 90%. Literally a game changer. Do not settle for an endoscopy-only or ultrasound-only clinic if your symptoms are telling you that you need deeper imaging.
Let's move to our next visual and see how this all builds together into the ultimate survival guide summary table. Black means it's an upper GI issue, so you need a stomach camera. White points to the pancreas or liver, demand an ultrasound and a CT scan. Red flags the lower GI, meaning you need a colon camera. And green, usually just an infection, so you can wait and observe.
So what do you actually do with all this information? Well, here is your clear, step-by-step daily action plan straight from Dr. Isero's advice. Step 1. Actually do a visual check before you flush. Every single day. Step 2. Make a mental note of any abnormal colors, shapes, or prolonged changes in frequency. And step 3, if you spot a red flag, do your research and choose a fully equipped clinic that matches your specific symptoms.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. Are you ready to change your bathroom habits starting tomorrow? Seriously, it is time to stop flushing blindly and throwing away all that vital data. You now have the knowledge to step up and take control of your proactive health management today. So listen to your body, look for those silent signals, and catch them before it's too late. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.